Welcome back to the channel. Alright guys, so today what I am planning on doing is taking this old fuel tank here and turning it into a sprayer for my tractor. I've been wanting a sprayer for quite some time, but the ones from Tractor Supply, I've looked at those could be upwards of a couple $100. I want to say $500-600, something like that. And then the big ones for a tractor, could be upwards of the, thousands of dollars, range. So I just so happen to have this old fuel tank. It's a 70-gallon fuel tank, and we're going to see if we can turn it into a sprayer. So I have about 12.5 acres on this piece of property. 2.5 of it is actually part of the yard itself. The other 10 or so, 9-10 acres is actually the pasture out front that is farmed for alfalfa. Since we've had this property, we have noticed the biggest thing is the ants. Ants are everywhere on this property, and they're so bad that we almost really don't even want to take our boy out into the yard, because everywhere you step is a pile of ants. Along with spraying the yard for bugs and fertilization and things like that, I also want to use it for tending the driveway, because the driveway has a center section of grass that grows that I would like to spray weed killer down, so that way I don't have to take the mower down the center and hit rocks and tear up the mower blades. So that's the plan with it. But first, we need to take and we need to wash it, because this thing is nasty. We got the fuel tank pressure washed and cleaned up. Now we'll kind of go over briefly everything we have here for this project. We'll go into more detail as we're using some of this stuff, but I got a 4 gallon an hour, 45 PSI, 12 volt water pressure pump. That's going to be the pump to actually pressurize the sprayer nozzles. I got some rubber pads for the tank itself, so that way we're setting the tank on these rubber pads instead of metal on metal, and so that way it doesn't rub and wind up causing a hole in it. Some 3/8 rubber hose. These are fuel grade, so that way no matter what we put in it, it should hold up. Some extra wire, because we're actually going to hardwire a section into the tractor, so that way it's a plug and play whenever we want to use this implement. This is our boom sprayer right here. This is fully customizable up to 90 inches, which is about 7.5 feet. So we got a very big adjustable range on there. We got our 3-point hitch right here. I spent the last couple days off camera building this. I built this out of everything that I had on hand, scrap wise, except for the draw pins on it. It's 2x2 tubing, but this is actually 2x2 angle iron that I just welded into a box. So the dimensions on this are 26.25 by 19.25 roughly. And I got those dimensions off of another implement that I have. This is just something I really quickly threw together and built specifically for this. I do want to make another one as a just in case if I need it for another implement that I decide to build or need to do something with. If you guys want to see that, leave me a comment and let me know if you want to see the process on making one of these. This tank is going to be sitting on some 3-inch channel. That's what we're going to build the framing of it out of. All right, so this is just a little drawing that I made just to kind of get an idea on how I want to do this. I know it's kind of looks like a jumbled up mess, but I'll try to explain it the best that I can. But as we put it together, I think you'll understand what I'm actually trying to do. So this is the side angle of it. So we have our actual fuel tank right here, or sprayer tank, we'll call it. This is all our channel. And then this dark line right here, this is a strap right here. And I'll show you that here in just a minute, that we're going to use to actually strap it down so it doesn't try to fall off of it. But basically we got our 3-inch channel right here. This is going to be about roughly 30 inches right here. This one's going to be about 31 and a half or so to make up for this distance right here, and it's going to come all the way from here to the top. As far as our side braces, it's going to be roughly about 4 foot in length. All right, as you can see, this is pretty much how it's going to be, with the exception of the support bar that's going to go on top here, and then probably maybe one more in the center right here. Looking at it, I may not need it, but I'd rather have it there for the support, because with that 70 gallons full, I think it's going to be upwards of over 1,000 pounds or something like that. So I'd rather have that extra little bit of support right there, so that way it's not all just on that 3-point hitch. So we'll do our other little beam and then our little extra support right there, and then we'll be good. Now, as you can see how that is, obviously that's not going to be very structural, because there's only going to be 4 little points to weld onto. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm probably going to take and cut some notches in it. I don't know whether I do it here or inside of here, so that way these can actually slide together and I can actually weld more than just 4 little spots, because if I do that right there, that thing will never last. So that's probably what I'm going to do right there. And then up top here, when I do that bar right there, just cut some little slits in there for it to slide into. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now, I'm just going to tack these pieces right here on both sides, just kind of tack them so that way they're together. And then I'm probably going to go ahead and make our slits in this part, so that way I can slide this inside of here and tack that in there. I'm not going to tack the hitch onto the frame just yet, because what I'm actually thinking about doing is I was going to have the frame sit up higher than the hitch, but actually I would want the hitch up higher, something along the lines of that. So that way I can set this directly on the ground, and when I'm hooking up my 3-point hitch, I'm not having to fight in the dirt for it. So I may actually and put maybe another piece of something. I don't know. I'll put something right here. I don't know what. I'll see what I got scrap. I'll put another piece right here, so that way it'll actually sit up higher, so that way I can set it directly onto the ground. But for right now, we're just going to tack everything. We're going to tack the frame up, and then we'll worry about the hitch later. Guys, if y'all know of a good lightweight welding jacket, let me know down in the comments. I've had this thing for years and I never really used it, even though I should have, because I would weld and weld and weld, and Lord, my arms would get tore slammed up, get with sunburn. So I've just recently tried to make it a point to use it when I'm welding, but Lord, when it's warm out, I just get cooked. So if you guys know of a good lightweight welding jacket, let me know. All right, let's get this tacked up. I have got to replace these tips. Man, this table has worked out really, really good, guys. If y'all hadn't checked that video out, go back and look at that one. I took an old work table in my barn and put this piece of sheet metal on top of it, kind of turned it into a makeshift welding table. So if you haven't seen that, go check that out. All right, when we make the notches in this right here, because I want to have the bottom of this sitting on the inside of the channel in here, what we have to take into account, if you see that right there, you'll see where there's actually a taper right there where it gets a lot thicker than it is right here. So we got to actually take that into account. I got a piece of 3/8 flat bar, and what we'll do is we'll use that. And then we'll use this small piece over here on this end. So now our piece is sitting flush. So now what we need to do is make our mark. So that's going to be the very max top is this right here, and measure 3/8 down. I'll show y'all here in just a minute. All right, you can see a little bit right there. You can see those two lines right there. So basically we're going to take those two lines straight in and cut that little section out, and then the same thing right there. When it slides in, we'll slide in and fit fairly flush up there against there and give us a whole lot more welding surface, which is the main goal of all this. All right, let's see how she fits in there. Oh yeah, do just a little bit of some tweaking on it, but that is actually sitting in there pretty good. Maybe rounding off this back corner right here just a little bit, so that way it sits in that notch just a little bit better. All right, so I think I'm at the point where I kind of need to know where the 3-point hitch is going to sit at before I go to putting that upper support in there. Okay, got that tacked in. All right, guys, this video is getting a little long, so we're going to cut it short here. Look forward to a part 2 on this. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. As always, we'll see you in the next one.